Life pretty much froze after this day.
There are new COVID-19 cases in North Texas,
and it is spreading fast.
Declaring a state disaster.
Fort Worth Mayor Betsy Price is expected to announce a stay-at-home order.
Dallas County will move to a safer-at-home order.
Our world turned upside down, forcing us to change our ways, forcing us to be by ourselves and focus on our health, because we had nowhere to be. What if I told you that in the city, the streets were empty? Would you believe me? What if I told you schools shut down and businesses closed too? Even stadiums weren't rocking like they used to. Would you believe me? We hear words like
isolation,
social distancing,
the lockdown,
to wash our hands since they can harm us, to keep 6 feet, we don't know who to trust. The fear turns into greed, so we take more than we need. But we're all in this together. We're all connected, all equally affected.
When will we sight the appealing view from the airplane's window again? Hear the sound of the gentle waves again. Mark our footprints on the mountains again. Sweat all out, running on the court again. When will the door open for us? Or will it still be open for us? Will COVID-19 even allow us? These simple questions are the most difficult for us to answer. But for most countries, there is no need for them to think about it. Because while we keep multiplying and adding newly recorded cases and deaths due to this pandemic, they have already flattened the curve. So now, they are back to the way they used to be while we are still imagining and dreaming. Countries like Taiwan, Canada, South Korea, and Thailand are winning the fight against COVID-19. These countries have been acclaimed as the success stories for flattening the curve before the infection soared drastically. So how did they achieve it? What have they done? Can we also be like them? I know these questions have been running through your mind. So now, let us all witness and be motivated on how these countries defeat the world's greatest enemy.
Being one of the nearest countries from China, South Korea had one of the largest outbreaks during the first few weeks of the pandemic. Despite that, the country managed to slow down the spread of new COVID-19 cases without any lockdown, due to them having one of the most excellent models for mass testing. Being it their only way to contain the further outbreak of the virus, the country had managed to test more than 20,000 people daily and enforces isolation and widespread contact tracing in order to stop transmission.
Canada has managed it's struggling to contain the COVID-19 cases in the country. Canada has managed to roll out more expansive testing. In January, Canada set up an infrastructure to conduct tests and contact tracing. The early response stems from Canada's experience during the SARS outbreak in 2003. Canada also has a well-funded public healthcare system, a preparation for a massive outbreak based on experience. Thus, widespread testing was conducted.
Thailand has had 3,083 infections and 57 deaths, with a recovery rate of 96%. In response to this, many businesses and public venues were ordered to close. The nation was placed on partial lockdown at the peak of the pandemic in March and April. Except for vital facilities such as hospitals and supermarkets, public health officials opted for an aggressive method of contact tracing, quarantining those who tested positive and hospitalizing patients with severe symptoms. The Thai government announced a curfew and imposed a range of measures to deter social gatherings. By April 13, active cases represented less than 50% of all cases recorded in Thailand. From that point on, there has been a steady decline.
These countries moved the fastest, avoiding the disaster brought by COVID-19.
But for us, are we still going to let our guards down? Are we still going to stay on the ground while they are reaching the highest tower? No. So we need to take bigger steps forward to lead this battle. Let us follow the footsteps of these countries that have overcome the tremendous storm. We have to get started now. And soon, we will also get to see the brightest sunshine.